Hello everyone, Danny here today, and this is like my sixth time trying to record this to talk to you about the audiobook Carter and LoveCraft. In this review, I am going to cover the content and direction of the story, the job that the narrator does, any mature content that I have found. Before I get started though, if you love audiobooks and either you're having a hard time picking a good audiobook, you got an audiobook you got a question about, or you just have some audiobooks that you dearly love and would love to share with other people, subscribe. Turn on notifications. Let me know about the books in the comments. I'll listen to them. I'll post a review. Now, to the book. This is a book that I had in my wish list for a while, but just kept skipping it and going with other books. And then Audible put it on sale. I got it, $4.95. Can't beat that. I listened to it. You really can't beat that, because this was an amazing book for the price. Well worth a credit, this book was. It was not really what I thought it was going to be based on the publisher summary. This is one of those examples where the publisher summary can be a bad way to judge a book. Based on the publisher summary, I thought this was going to be along the lines of the old TV show Warehouse 13, where Carter inherits this bookstore and has to go out and collect and find dangerous, mystical objects to save the world. And probably each book he's got to find and collect a different dangerous artifact or a different dangerous book to save the world, kind of a thing. That wasn't really what this was. So, Carter's a cop. Him and his partner discover and take down a serial killer who's been torturing and killing boys. And during the takedown of the serial killer, things go wonky in a supernatural kind of a way, to the point of where Carter ends up retiring, dropping out of the police force. He decides to become a private detective, and one day this really weird guy appears and tells him that he has inherited a bookstore. He has inherited a house, he has inherited a house. He goes to discover the house that he has inherited, and he discovers that it is actually a bookstore with an apartment above it, and the niece of the guy he'd inherited from has been working there for ever and expected to inherit it. Didn't even know that her uncle had been declared dead. He's been missing for over 7 years. Carter's kind of a good guy. Carter's a really good guy, so he doesn't feel right about just, yanking the rug out from underneath the young lady whose name is Emily Lovecraft. So he works, out a deal with her to where they're going to kind of be partners. He goes back to do his detecting, leaves the bookstore to her, and a strange murder occurs. And he gets drugged into the murder in a really strange way. And then that kind of gets tied to the bookstore, and events go from there to draw Lovecraft into it. Emily Lovecraft is the name of the gal, and she is a distant relative from H.P. Lovecraft. And there's secrets about H.P. Lovecraft that she's aware of because she's part of that family tree, and it's been handed down and nobody else is aware of it. Turns out Carter is a relative of a good friend of H.P. Lovecraft's, who basically, like the two, were partners and did everything together. And there are some weird murders, supernatural kind of murders that take place, and Carter and Lovecraft get drawn into it. And they don't really end up saving the world. That was the strangest twist to the book. That the final twist in the book, they don't end up saving the world. The world ends up getting destroyed. Yet, this is not a standalone book. This is part of a series. So the story goes on from there. So if you want to know how the author managed to tie all that together and destroy the world and not destroy his series, you're going to have to get the book and listen to it. The narrator does a great job. I'm not going to try to tell you who the narrator is. He has a name that I would not be able to pronounce. so I'm not going to do that, but he does a great job of the narration. There is definitely mature content in this book. There's language. There's several situations that are sexual, including an attempted sodomy. None of it is graphic or pornographic in any stretch or fashion, but it definitely is there. There's also some violence and, of course, some scary monsters. I was expecting this book to have a more adventurous, upbeat feel than it had. This book had more of an eerie kind of a feel, more of a Twilight Zone kind of a feel to it. It's really well done. It really draws you in. I was actually surprised at how drawn into the book I became. I had a hard time putting it down and walking away from it. It's an excellently done book, even though the publisher summary makes it sound kind of like what it's not. It's really well done. If you like my video, hit the like button. If you like my channel, subscribe, turn on notifications. Questions, comments, feedback, it's what the comment section is for. But most importantly, no matter what else you do today, make sure that today you listen to at least one really good book, and I absolutely recommend Carter and LoveCraft. Thank you.